For the volume of sand lab, you should have this information in your comp book. Notice I put all the blue questions on a table. So we're going to answer the blue questions in this table. There's also a few numbered questions in the book that you need to answer 13 through 17. And it'll be helpful if you read through Figure 111. They talk about something that dissolves in water. And so for this lab, we're going to deal with some of the limitations of volume. And we're going to do that with sand. So I've already got the sand poured into a graduated cylinder. If you look here, might be kind of hard to see, but I've got about 30 cubic centimeters of sand in this graduated cylinder. And so that's what's going to go in this first row, volume of dry sand. It's 30 cubic centimeters. So then it wants you to take the sand. So we're going to take the sand out of our graduated cylinder and we're going to pour it into the beaker. And we're going to leave that set for later. Got some sand that's sticking in there a little bit, but that's going to be an error at the end. That sand that's stuck in there because it was a little bit wet and I didn't notice. Then it tells us to get some water. It really doesn't matter how much water we have. I'm going to put about, I don't know, that's probably good. Looks to me that it's about 30, we'll call it 36 cubic centimeters. So if we come over here, what's going to go on the second row, which isn't a blue question, but we'll need to know it, is 36 cubic centimeters. So we had 30, write this down, of dry sand, 36 of just water. And then we're going to use the water displacement method to figure out the actual volume of sand. So if I can pour it in there carefully. Okay. So the volume of sand and water combined is 53. So what's going to go in here is 53. Now the rest of the stuff is just math. So to find the volume of sand alone, we're going to take 53 minus the water that we put in, which is 36. So that gives us 17. So the volume of sand alone here is 17. The volume of airspace, well, we thought we had 30 of sand, but we actually only have 17. So 30 minus 17 gives us 13. And then to find the fraction of airspace, we're just going to take this 13 divided by 30. So 13 divided by 30. And it tells us that 0.43 of it is airspace. So that's how you do the volume of sand lab. Now, they go through and make sure you answer these questions down here. And like I said, read Figure 111 because the big idea with the volume of sand lab is that volume is sometimes a good way to measure things, especially liquids, but it has its limitations. When you're measuring the volume of a solid, if the solid dissolves in water, we're not going to get an accurate number. If the solid, like the sand, has air spaces in it, you're not going to get an accurate number. So a better way to measure things is by mass, which is kind of the big idea in Chapter 1, that volume is okay, but it's not the best way to measure a quantity.